Hi, this is Ed Breniger, Circle of Impact Leadership. I hope you had a good holiday. It's been good for me. I have one more big family event to come this weekend, and then the new year occurs. And we typically think about change and the transition from one year to the next at this time of year. And I'd like to present to you an idea about change, which I think is significant. And I want to put this into the context of something I wrote in my book. Let me just read a couple of paragraphs from chapter 12 of Circle of Impact. What happens when the past is no longer an accurate predictor of the future? Some of us cling more closely to the proven ways of the past, resisting the future as a threat to the security that we have built. Then there are people who are opportunistically play a different kind of game. They defend the past, hoping that it is sustainable into the future. They do so even as they plan to take advantage of the changes that they see coming. Their rationale is that the past is known and is more certain, secure, stable, and comfortable until it isn't. Their game of finesse, playing the future off against the past, is no more predictable than the person firmly rooted in the past. Our world is in the midst of a historic transition. For some people, their past success is an obstacle to future success. They cannot see beyond their own past experience to what might be possible in the future. They continue to approach problems and the function of their business as they always have. I think this is a description of where we are. And one of the ways that I have begun to see this transition manifest itself in some pretty negative ways is by what I call people's contempt for other people, particularly as it's expressed through social media platforms. I think that when we look at people in such a way, with basically no respect for them, that it really doesn't hurt them so much as it hurts us. It's a form of weakening of our own perspective, and to me, it's symbolic of a lack of confidence and a lack of perspective and a lack of real clarity about what their purpose is, and that they find themselves in essence fighting against change because they don't know what to do any other way. And I think this is where we are, and I don't think this is going to stop anytime soon. I think we're in for a long season of change, to the point that all the things that seem to be successful in the past are going to come into real challenge over these next few years. And so what does this mean for us as we enter a new year? Well, one, I'd like to see people stop being contemptible towards other people, but that's really only a symptom of a deeper problem. I think the more important thing is that we need to begin to have conversations where we talk about what does it mean for us to practice in our businesses with genuine respect, with building trust, and having relationships where we are able to have the conversation which allows for differences to be bridged. And it doesn't seem to me that we are at a point in time in our history in the West, and in particular in the United States, where we're able to do that very well. And we could talk about the reasons why all day, but it really doesn't matter why. All that matters is that we know that we need to change. One of the principles of the Circle of Impact, the first principle really, is that all change is really about our own self-understanding. It's the greatest challenge that we face. And if you want to change your business, if you want to change your community, if you want to change your world, you have to change yourself first. And by changing yourself, it really comes down to having a self-understanding of who you are, what you value, what your purpose is, and what the impact that you want to have with your life or with the business that you have. These are hard questions. They're questions that cannot just be thrown out cavalierly. They must be thought about And I think I am convinced more than ever that they have to be thought about in conversation with other people. So next month in January, I'm going to launch a new program called Circle of Impact Conversations. And this is what my aim is to create a safe environment within businesses where we can talk about the future. We can talk about the issues that confront you. We can talk about whether the company is a trustworthy company, whether there's respect among the people that work in it, whether there's respect for the people who are your customers. What are the values that are non-negotiable, that you're unwilling to give up and actually willing to suffer for because they are so important to you. All of these are parts of this conversation that we all need to have. So look for this. I've already written about this in my latest newsletter. I'll say some more coming up in a couple of weeks when the January newsletter comes out. I invite you to reach out to me. Let's have a conversation about what I'm talking about. Look for the new blog post that'll coincide with this video release. And I hope you will have a really fine New Year's in looking optimistically and pragmatically to a future where maybe for the next year, you really focus on, let's have a time of building respect and trust in our business, and let's see what benefits and strengths can come from that. So this is Ed Brendiger. I'm a leader for leaders. I'm a leader for you. I thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.